What's up, guys? Got another one to go over. So that cafe racer was selected from the last guy. So decided I should make something else. This is also a custom dial build. We went old style. Went with a rat rod. So we've got 1932 rat rod on here. Nicely loomed. Sandwich dial style. I did a chemical, so in the spirit of old rat rod, I just kind of put it together with some stuff that I had, right? So chemical stripped case, so you can see a little bit of, the roughness to the chemical strip. All in all, it kind of looks like a bead blast, but in person you can kind of see a little bit of imperfection in it here and there. Did an old vintage chrome bezel, did a muriatic strip on it, and then backfilled in with black, and then brushed it so you can see the nice brush marks going around. Okay, Google, skip. So brass goes nicely with that dial with those browns. Just did a regular polished, non-engraved crown there. Did a large window exhibition case back, black rotor, stainless steel movement holder, though, and you can't see it in here, I did one that I stripped, so it kind of looks a little darker. Okay, Google, skip again. Then, lastly, did one of my salvaged leather straps. It wasn't quite perfect, so I went back through and sanded it a little bit. I added some leather paint to it and stripped it down just to kind of give it a distressed, kind of older look to it. Same on the other side. And then I thought, what would be cool is just a nice laser etched painted buckle. So just thought, that's a nice little pop. It's going to be on the back side. Everything's going to look this way. And then you flip it around, you'll have that nice buckle hanging out back here. So that is the build. And with all builds, I go over them just a little bit, just so you know that you've got a tension ring bezel. You do not have a clickable bezel. That is not a thing with these. And I put it on decently tight, so you can move it, but you can easily move it right back. So that's the bezel. These are automatic mechanicals, so if you've got a watch winder, drop it in there, keep time on it, or wearing it will keep time. But if it is dead, you'll want to pre-wind it just a little bit, because generally you're not active enough to keep them rolling. And how that works is you'll unscrew threads here, and when you feel it come off the tube and you feel a little bit of play and you hear it clicking, now you can wind it. And a wind is a turn from 6 to 12. But as you can see, winding it like this will take a while, but this doesn't hurt it. You can go back and forth. So if you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you wear it, even if you're not very active, you're going to keep it rolling. And I kind of pull it slightly back as I'm doing this. Granted, with this crown guard on here, it is a little bit harder because of the guard. But I do kind of have my finger as a guide against it to kind of keep it spaced out perfectly, because I don't want it to get back out on the threads and start screwing down. But I don't want to pull it hard enough that it's going back into the wind or the setting position. If you do this closer to 20 seconds like I'm doing, you're going to max out your 31-hour power reserve, though you can wind it all day. It will just go to your 31-hour. So if you pull it to your one and only click, you can now set your time. And I did a nice thin set silver handset to go with the case here. And I thought a white seconds hand would give it a nice little pop. So you're kind of pulling on it as you're setting the time, but you'll notice you've got your wobble crown. It's deflecting lateral pressure on that stem. It's not transferring it into the movement. It's non-hacking, so it's going to keep ticking around. But that said, you can go from winding to setting the time, but you cannot go from setting the time back to winding. You'll have to disengage the clutch system by screwing it back down and re-engaging it in there. Okay, Google, what time is it? 11:08 a.m. Also makes it nice and easy for you to push it right back over and start threading it back down. That's the build. I hope you guys like it. Yeah, now you can see a little bit of imperfection up through there. So, decent chemical strip on it. Just didn't want that bright, shiny chrome that won't stay polished to save your life. As always, matching beads that go with it. Special edition box. Did that one in brown. As always, you're going to get some watch cleaner. This is good for all glass and metal parts, non-toxic, non-residue, non-streaking. We've got leather conditioner. Anytime I throw leather in, you get leather conditioner. Make sure that stays perfect. Apply a little bit. It'll go a long way. Let it soak in. Yeah, this is moving nicely back and forth. Sometimes these are so tight on the lugs up here that they'll kind of stay one direction, but it's actually moving really nicely. So good news on that. Just these are sold on SS bands. So in order to fit a leather in there, you got to be really just the tiniest hole right at the end. Not a lot of space between the lug hole and the case. So also these are acrylic glass, so you can scratch them if you do. All you need is a little bit of fine scratch remover. You can get Polywatch on Amazon, or you can get Novus too. But it comes in something the size of a shampoo bottle, so I repackage them. Just put it on there, use a microfiber, something like what you would have included, and buff it out a little bit will go a long way. If you put a bunch on there, you're just going to smear it everywhere. You're going to get it down and around the bezel. You're going to have to figure out how to get it out of there. But just buff it with your thumb against the scratch where you're filling it in, and generate some heat with your thumb. That will help speed it along, and then it will be perfect. So hopefully you guys like the build. If you want me to build you something, reach out. I'll see what I can do for you. And if you want to continue to see builds in real time, like and subscribe. And I literally do one every day. I don't upload one every day. Usually kind of upload 2 or 3 at a time. But definitely follow me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.